I needed to reprogram my subconscious brain. And what the fuck does that even mean? I'd be thinking the same. But I didn't just one day wake up and become the man that's a multi six-figure entrepreneur in networks with 7-figure, 8-figure entrepreneurs, super locked in, super dialed in, focused on his business, focused on his work, when the day before I was a super degenerate, partied all the time, loved drinking, loved going out, just super degenerate all the time. I didn't just have a sudden epiphany and turn into the person I am today. I had to consciously reprogram my subconscious mind. And what does this mean? I'll give you an analogy to break this down. So, your subconscious mind, your brain, your nervous system, your body as a human is programmed to be in its comfort zone, right? So an example of this is anyone that's ever been skydiving or bungee jumping, anything like that, anything that's super adrenal. For example, let's say I booked a skydiving and I went up on the plane, and instead of having someone connected to me that like pulls the parachute or whatever, I had to consciously make the jump myself, right? I went up and I got onto the plane and I was looking down and I knew I was going to jump. But instead of actually just jumping, I just decided I'm just going to sit there and look down into the land, and you can see the clouds, you can see the sky, you can see the floor, and I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to be thinking, should I do it? I'm going to constantly be going backward, forwards in my head, thinking of all the bad scenarios, thinking, what if I break my legs? What about if the parachute fails? What about if this happens? What about if the weather starts going shit? What about all these bad scenarios? My mind's going to be playing tricks on me because my subconscious brain wants me to be comfortable. It doesn't want me to be put in danger, which is what that would be. I'd be put in danger. So me sitting there thinking, am I going to jump? Is my subconscious playing tricks on me? So I had to destroy that. I had to make the conscious effort to be like, no, fuck it. I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to do it. So I had to take control of my subconscious mind. And that's how I started to become the man I am myself, right? So if you think about it in normal terms, in business terms, I kind of created two alter egos. I created the bitch version of me and the successful version of me. So this was when I was degenerate, right? I would lay down. I'd be like, I'll get up in 5 minutes. But then I asked myself, okay, what would the successful version of me do? He'd get up and he'd fucking go and do it. The bitch version of me would lay there and say another 5 minutes. No, successful person would go and do it. So I got up, went and do it. What would the bitch version do? Would he go out drinking, or would he lock in tonight and, dial in on his business? Successful one would dial in on his business. So you've got to ask yourself, you've got to put two scenarios out there. What kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the bitch version of yourself, or do you want to be the successful version of yourself? And then ask yourself, every time you make a decision, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how important or least important it is, what would the successful version of you do? Because if you're not doing what the successful version of yourself would do, then of course you're never going to be that successful person, because you've got to reprogram your subconscious. You've got to be the person walking around like you are that successful person already, because then your subconscious brain is going to consciously now make the decisions of that successful person. So now I don't have to consciously think, okay, what would the successful version of me do? Because I am that successful version of me. So now I just make my decisions based on true instinct. And that's how I've become the person I am. So an example is like the mates I had when I was in school. I had degenerate mates. The reason why I was going out so much, yes, I loved it. I'm not going to blame it all on my mates. I'm someone that I love taking accountability. But my mates weren't doing me any favours. They was going out all the time too. They was drinking all the time. Okay, so I had to cut them off. And when I say cut them off, that's an extreme. I still have love for those people. I'd still see them and give them a handshake in the street. But at the end of the day, I've told you who I surround myself with now. Entrepreneurs, people that are locked in. And it makes me the successful person I am today. So you've got to think about it. Like, this is a perfect time for it. Like, obviously, it is Christmas time. And a lot of people in business, in life, make excuses at this time. It's family time, the time to relax, it's time to let loose, it's time to make bad decisions. And it's a lot for like fitness as well. Like, people eat really badly. People make bad decisions because they say, oh yeah, New Year. But then you've got to think, okay, what would the successful version of you do? Would he be a bitch and would he say, I'll do it in New Year? He'll kind of make the right decisions in New Year's, or would he do it now? And you've got to think, okay, this bad decision I made, if I just started making good decisions 3 weeks ago, would my life be in a better place? It probably would be. And if your life was in a better place 3 weeks ago from making the best decisions, then Is it safe to say in another 3 weeks your life would be better if you started making those good decisions today? So there is never a perfect time to change your subconscious and start making the right decisions, start doing the things you want to do, because at the end of the day, the competitors of yours, the people that are trying to take your girl, trying to take your wife, trying to do what you're trying to do, because at the end of the day, we're in a competitive market, whether you like to acknowledge it or not, they are doing what you're not. So at the end of the day, you have to be that person, and it's the hardest thing in the world. I'm not saying it's easy to reprogram your subconscious. It's one of the most difficult things, and if it was easy, then everyone would be able to unlock their potential. This is what I truly believe. If everybody was in control of their subconscious mind, everyone would achieve their goals. Because me and you have goals today, and if we could be in control of our actions on a day-to-day basis, we'd be able to get to those goals. And that's why the most successful people in the world, they don't make excuses. What would Elon Musk do in your situation? In the decision you're about to make in the next 10 minutes, what would he do? Right? And you think, okay, if it's about food or whatever, think about it to the most ideal person you look up to in food. If it's about business, look at the most ideal person you look up to in business. What kind of decision would they make? And you've got to just directly do what they are doing on a day-to-day basis. And this is why books like The Compound Effect are so popular, because no, they're not rewriting history. They're not giving the most insane value. They're just saying that these little day-to-day steps is what's going to make you the man that you deserve to be. And essentially all that is reprogramming your subconscious brain. You're consciously making an effort to make the right choices, because previously your subconscious brain is so normalized with doing the wrong things. If you do the right things on a day-to-day basis, you will make progress, and that is guaranteed. At the end of the day, I really, really rate people on their self-improvement grind, and they look to creators or influencers or books or whatever for inspiration. But no one cares about you more than you. So with that being said, no one's going to come and take you to where you want to be. No one's going to come and deliver your dream life on a plate. No one's going to come and reprogram your subconscious brain for you. You have to do it. You have to consciously make the right choices. You have to consciously make an effort to do what the successful version of you would do. And that's how I leveled up in every aspect. In terms of in the gym, what would the jacked version of me do? Would he eat this brownie or would he not? What would the successful business version of me do? Would he go out tonight or would he lock in? You know, what would the guy with a sick girlfriend do? Would he, go on that date or would he not? So that's what you've got to ask yourself on a day-to-day basis. Make the right choices and you will reprogram your subconscious brain and you will unlock your true potential.